Welcome back to what Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is an M12, the Tier 7 American SPG based on the M3 Lee chassis, and it's located on the north spawn of Prokhorovka under the command of FendaBenda. Now it's a 155mm gun, takes 27.7 seconds to reload and can do alpha damage of 700 hit points if it can penetrate the target. Getting started. Now you can see this lovely skin which has got our logo on the front of the vehicle was provided by Sir Rusty. Thank you so much for producing these skins. They make the Arty look so special. Now the French gun that's mounted on this Arty comes from the First World War. It's a very accurate gun, but built in America. It's a French design. And he's now looking for targets in the centre. And what we got? We've got a Batchat 12 ton with the Red Bull logo on it. Well, I don't think they had those back in the day, but it's another one of Sir Rusty's creations. We do have another skin from another tank, which is actually showing the Kit Kat Chunky logo. So Rusty's very good at some of his designs. Now, Batchat 25 ton. He fires the round in, but it crosses just a little further on from the aim point. Now, something he's doing right now is he's gone to have a look for the enemy Arty at the other end of the map. He's looking for a tracer to signify where the enemy Arty is. And unfortunately, he hasn't spotted one, but he has spotted a Tiger 1. Riding in on that position. Rounds out, direct hit, 297 hit points, and he goes straight back to looking at the back of the map, trying to find that Arty. There's 3 Artys on the enemy team. One's a Batchat 155-55, and he's just got a kill. That one, SU-101 on our team just blew up. And the other ones are a Crusader SP, the Tier 7 British SPG, and the Lorraine 155-50. Now there's some trees down there, and that might signify where one of the Artys is located. So he's fired a round in there. And there was no result, but it might have damaged the enemy Arty. And there's an SU-152, in fact it's an ISU-152 actually, which is the replacement version based on the IS chassis. And FendaBenda's loaded and fires a round in, gets a direct hit, wipes him out. 151 hit points off that one, it's its first kill. Okay, another target spotted. It's the Tier 9 Jag Tiger with the 128mm gun. That's the dangerous version, not the 88, which is the premium version. Well, it's a near miss. It was right alongside him. It landed on the road. But he is picking up stun assists quite a lot. He's looking at the same position. He's reloading, he's marked the target. That tells him exactly where it's going to be firing. Round out. Oh, it's still there. And he got a direct hit this time. 337. And that Jag Tiger is taking damage. More shells hitting him. FendaBenda marks the spot again. And this time round, the Jag Tiger's been killed. So he not only picked up a lot of damage, but he also managed to get a lot of stun assists off that. And there's an IS-2M found on the hill. And he fires one in and gets splash of 42. But it looks like our AMX M449 Liberté has actually moved up the hill prematurely because he was taking some damage from the enemy. And we're switching back to the other side of the map. Now, I think he saw some tracer coming from that direction. And he's going back to the most likely spots, which are the bushes at the back. That's where the enemy Arty might be located. But nope, gone back to the hill, and just in time to see the M449 Liberté killed. Dialing in on the IS-2M. Rounds out. It looks good. And it was a direct hit. But we've lost our tank on the hill. What we really need at this moment is for somebody to move up the hill so we can spot the enemy tanks up there and get shots on them. Now, one place they're likely to be is just around these bushes and the rock that's there. Firing a round in, and well, if there was a tank there, probably was get damaged in the process. But in the meantime, there's a Batchat 25 ton making his way across the field, and we're getting a request for fire. And the enemy's now coming off the hill. T-54 Mob 1 making his way. Dialing in, rounds out. And it looks like FendaBenda's decided the best thing to do is move over to the west side of the map. Although everyone seems to be being bunched into that corner, there are some defenders still over on the other side. And he's not going the full way over, actually. He's staying near his cap. And he's now turning to face that T-54. He's loaded, ready to go. Dialing in. Rounds out. No, too long and a little too early, I think. Now, FendaBenda's got the reload time down to 23.37 seconds because he's got good crew and he's got a rammer. If he actually used premium consumables such as Coca-Cola, as well as having the rammer and drugs and arms, you could probably drop the reload time a little further to maybe 21 seconds. He's moving over to the far west side, but not going behind a bush. He's staying out in the open. And sometimes that can be a bit of a mistake. If the enemy moves up rather rapidly, you get caught unawares. IS-2M on top of the hill. That's the one he hit earlier. And look, it's the amount of hit points it's lost. And he's killed it this time. That shot was absolutely perfect, right on target. He correctly worked out where the IS-2M was headed, fired the round in, and this time round it struck the target and killed it. I'm pretty sure most of the hit points of that IS-2M was lost on the last shot, and that one hit the target as well and did 292 hit points to the Tiger P and 585 to the fire that went on afterwards. So he didn't have a fire extinguisher and he had to wait for his crew to put the fire out. Now that probably indicates that he was using premium consumable and didn't have a fire extinguisher, and as a result they weren't able to put out the fire fast enough. The Tiger P was killed shortly afterwards, and that... Oh, he did get it! The AMX 1357. He fired him where it was, and the first shot that came in from the M53-55 wounded him, and then FendaBenda killed him. So that's two very accurate shots. Blind shots that have actually ended up in kills. In fact, he's only showing one kill on the record at the moment, but there's 3 kills on his scoreboard. Now he's expecting the enemy to move over the railway line there. I think it's more likely that they'll cross where the wood is, because if you try to cross at that point there, it's a bit steep and you get delayed in crossing. That's the other best place there, just on that corner. If you get delayed in crossing, then the enemy might be able to get shots on you. And the Batchat has crossed the railway line already, and there he is. And there's the T-54 Mob 1, and they're homing in on this position. And although the T-54 Mob 1 is a one-shot, the Batchat is not. He's focusing on that, and he missed it. He needs to get into cover now. This is what I said earlier about best to be in cover. That Batchat will have seen him straight away. His sixth sense will be going off. Yes, it has. So they know he's here. And he's just been hit by the Arty. And he's about to be ram killed. Yes. Now, if he'd been in the bush, maybe he wouldn't have been seen. And the Batchat has just ram killed the M53, M55. And that's the end of the game. Always pays to be in cover sometimes. If you if the enemy appears unannounced, all of a sudden you get hammered. And here's the end of battle result. Well, it was a first-class tanker for FendaBenda in the M12. He got a Bruiser medal for doing at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 12. And he got a Gore's medal. He did more damage than 10 times the hit points of his own vehicle, which is a lot of damage. So he was working hard, even if the rest of his team wasn't up to it. And the win rate for that game was 5,460 overall. So let's have a look at the team score. Well, he didn't get the highest damage. That went to the M53, M55. He got 3,304 hit points of damage, which is not much more than FendaBenda's 2,963. But the highest damage in the battle went to the Batchat 25-ton that killed him. He did 3,795 hit points. He picked up a Dimitri's medal for killing all 3 Arty, a high caliber, and a top gun as well. When it came to kills, I'm afraid it was that Batchat again with 7 kills. Then came the T54 Mob 1 with 3 and FendaBenda also with 3. And when it came to base XP, well, it was the T54 Mob 1 on the enemy team with 986, the ISU 152 with 977, and then the Batchat with 966. FendaBenda got the highest base XP on his own team with 656. He fired 15 rounds in that game, got 6 direct hits but no penetration and 12 splash. Damage of 2,963 hit points, of which 2,984 were, or 2,684 rather I should say, were at more than 300 meters. He received 2 hits, 1 penetration, 1 non-penetration. I think the penetration was from the Batchat. I don't know who the non-penetration was from, but the splash damage, there was 2 of those, and they came from the enemy Arty, specifically the M53-55. No, sorry, the Batchat 155-55. He damaged 9 of the enemy, he killed 3 of them, and he did stun assistance of 1,241 hit points off 9 stuns. On a free-to-play account, he earned 32,179 credits, got 3,485 for courageous resistance because he got an epic medal, the Gore's medal, and so his total came to 35,664, and after repair and ammunition resupply, he took away 15,032 credits. He received 3 bonds for getting the Gore's medal, and 656 base XP, 373 for courageous resistance, took away 1,029 experience points altogether. So he says, working hard for a loss. Yes, it was a pity, because if only the rest of the team had worked hard enough and long enough, then you might have been able to survive that one. But it was just unfortunate the rest of the team weren't putting in the effort, apart from the M53-55, who obviously was working hard because he did do a lot of damage in that game. But I still say, if you'd been in the bushes, it would have been more hard for that Batchat to work out where you were. And so that might have saved your life for just a little while longer. But there again, the rest of the team had already died by then anyway. So, if you enjoyed that replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel. And hopefully it'll be your replay that I'll be featuring in the next video.